The United States is a large country that includes a wide range of climatic and geographic regions. It's only natural that many Americans have a sense of regional identity. When comparing or describing themselves to others, they might say something like, "He's a true Southerner." With these regions come many differences in consumption behavior. For instance, a mug of black coffee typifies the West, whereas a cup of coffee with milk and sugar is preferred in the East. Grits frequent breakfast menus in the South, but are virtually non-existent on Northern menus. Soft white bread is favored by Midwesterners, whereas on the coast, both East and West, firmer breads, such as whole wheat, French, and Italian, are favored. Obviously, companies that wish to expand retail stores to other U.S. geographic locations successfully need to do their research, as their shelf stock demand often varies noticeably across regions. Of course, there are finer regional distinctions than North, South, East, and West in the United States. And this is where things get really interesting. Nielsen's PRISM is the most sophisticated regional subculture geodemographic marketing tool to date, which segments by geodemographic data. Geodemographics is based on the birds of a feather flock together adage. In other words, families of similar status and thus similar taste cultures tend to reside in the same neighborhoods or communities. The PRISM designates every household in the United States as belonging to one of 66 identified distinct segments. Marketers use Nielsen's PRISM to study which of the 66 segments would most likely buy their products and services based on their product usage, media exposure, and other consumption factors. For example, one of the 66 is called the young digerati, and this is an affluent, well-educated, ethnically diverse group that is comfortable in this high-tech era. They are singles and couples living in high-end condos and apartments in these more trendy urban neighborhoods. And they tend to be enthusiastic connoisseurs of things like the arts, wine bars, martini bars, fine dining, etc. Now, another very different example of the 66 is called the shotguns and pickups. The shotguns and pickups are young working class couples who tend to have larger families and, as the name indicates, are the most likely of all the segments to own a hunting rifle and a pickup truck. So as a particularly interesting assignment for this class, you will be going to a website, entering your zip code, and accessing and reporting some interesting information about your neighborhood community. So see your timeline this week for your PRISM assignment instructions. Note that you'll be going to the PRISM website, but no enrollment or account is needed in order to access the information necessary for your assignment. All right, so here's a few tips derived from this lecture material. Tip number 1, take the time to place a special request with your neighborhood grocers to carry the ethnic item or items you desire, if this is important to you. Then patronize the ones who do. Tip number 2, social norms can be difficult to break, right? Can make people feel very uncomfortable. If you are not comfortable buying your children both agentic and communal toys. Try picking up a mix at Goodwill to donate to another organization, but allowing him or her to play with or claim a few favorites first. If you find out that one of your children actually desires and delights in a stereotype breaking toy or toys, it can be a whole lot easier to find the courage to break these norms. Tip number 3, if a company discriminates against the GBLT community by refusing service or selling GBLT derogatory items, and this bothers you, regardless of your sexual orientation, protest to your level of comfort. There are a lot of different options here, right? So, for instance, you could personally boycott the store. If you want to go further, you can promote a nationwide boycott on the internet. You can engage in public protests, etc. And of course, vote when ballots contain related propositions. So this concludes part 1 of our consumer identity lecture, and here is a cute guerrilla marketing example.